our pole sitter, George Russell. George, as I say, your first pole in F1 and at such a demanding and technical racetrack as the Hungaroring as well. Very well done. You've had a few minutes to reflect now. First of all, describe the significance of this moment for you and for your career.
For me, I'm not really thinking about myself, to be honest, but for us as a team, it's massive. Yesterday was probably our toughest Friday of the whole season. We were all here until 11 p.m. last night, scratching our heads. Morale was pretty down, and we felt pretty lost. And to come back and grab pole position 24 hours later, it's just such a feeling, because I know what we went through last night. And there's no points for qualifying, but I guess getting this result for all of us is pretty huge.
How different is the car you've been driving today compared to the one you had on Friday?
I think today we just got it perfectly in the window on that last lap. I went round turn 1 and I was a tenth and a half up. I went round turn 2, I was 3 tenths up, and everything was just perfectly in the window. And when you're on one of those laps and you're in the groove, in the rhythm, it just keeps on coming. I think everybody struggled quite a lot with the tyres. A lot of people struggled this morning in the wet with the tyres, and we've been going all over the place to try and get our heads around it. But fortunately, we sort of nailed it on that last run.
George, you've driven some mighty qualifying laps in your career. How good was that one?
Dare I say, better than the Spa one? I don't know. It was this. I don't think the feeling of this pole and the feeling of that Spa lap, I don't think I'll ever have qualifyings that will ever come close to these two feelings, because obviously this was my first. As a team, we struggled so much at Williams. We were so far behind, and to get that second was massive. So this is what racing is about. This is why I wake up every single day, and I want to be world champion, because feelings like this is something you can't really dream of.
George, no dry running this morning. A difficult day yesterday. So how much of an unknown is your long run pace going into tomorrow's Grand Prix?
It's a total unknown. We've turned the car upside down since yesterday. Conditions are changing. It's going to be much cooler tomorrow. Our high fuel pace was probably the worst it's ever been yesterday, and Ferrari looked pretty exceptional. But we're behind the curve at the moment. We'll be absolutely going for it, and victory is what we're going for.
Very well done today, and good luck with that tomorrow. Thank you, George. Carlos, coming to you now. So close to another pole position for you. How good was the car today? How good was that final lap?
Yeah, it was good. I felt like today I had everything more or less under control through the whole qualifying. We keep making steps in the right direction, which they keep getting me more comfortable and more together with the car. And today there were some good laps over there. Probably that Q3 run 2 lap was nothing special, and it was good enough not good enough for pole, So a bit disappointed, because with a perfect lap, for sure I would have been up there. But I guess George did a very good lap today in the American, and he deserves that one. So congrats.
And given the problems that George has just described that Mercedes went through yesterday, how much confidence do you have going into this Grand Prix?
Well, clearly the track conditions, as they've switched, especially particularly on soft tires, maybe they haven't gone in our direction, because yesterday we seemed to have a pace advantage that we certainly didn't have today. Even Q1, Q2, going through those 2 sessions, we didn't have the margin that we had in other races this year, and we had to make sure we put a set of new tires and do it at the right time, because the midfield was certainly closer to us than where they were yesterday. And for us, we've been struggling to get the tires into temperature over 1 lap here. We are certainly not particularly happy about today, the way the car and everything was handling, but with a perfect lap I could have put it up there, so that's why I'm a bit disappointed.
Right. Thank you, Carlos. Best of luck to you tomorrow. Charles, coming to you now. It wasn't the smoothest of sessions for you, but you chipped away at it. How good was the car on that final run?
No, today I struggled massively, especially in Q3. Q1, Q2, I felt quite good. We were doing good steps in the right direction. But then in Q3, I don't know what happened. The track changed a little bit, the sun came out, and suddenly the tires were definitely not in the right window. So I struggled a lot with inconsistency. I did the first lap in Q3, that was quite slow, and then the second lap, that was more or less okay. But yeah, we paid a little bit the price of not having the tires in the right window. But yeah, congratulations to George. It's a special one, the first pole, and he did an amazing job.
Tell us a little bit about the track evolution during the session. It was pretty breathless. How difficult was it to keep a gauge on that?
I mean, on my side, it was quite okay, Q1 and Q2, but then Q3, for some reason, I don't know what we did. We need to analyze because there was something that was feeling a bit weird. Yeah, we'll look into it because the feeling was just not good.
Tyres have dominated qualifying today. Give us a little indication of strategy tomorrow. How many pit stops?
It's between 1 and 3. Yeah, but we'll see. I think the performance is there. We are quite quick, so hopefully we can gain some places tomorrow.
All right, best of luck with that. Thank you very much. Let's open this to the floor as ever. Name and publication, please. First one.
Andrew Benson, BBC Sport. George, I know you touched on it briefly, but Spa last year, Russia last year, this one today. In terms of pure driving, were you taking it to the limit? Which one do you think was your best?
I think the nature of this circuit, when you get everything absolutely hooked up, nothing comes close because it's so fast, so flow, and every corner leads on to the next. So it's so difficult to compare very different conditions. But yeah, pure driving probably the one today.
Thanks, George. Next one.
Matt Key from Autosport. A question to both Ferrari drivers. Given it's been a comparatively bad day for Red Bull, is it important for the team to hold talks tonight on driver order and how to nail strategy to really capitalise on it tomorrow?
Charles,
honestly, I mean, at the end, we need just to do the best job possible. So focus on ourselves. I don't think there's anything needed there, or just obviously not taking any risk in between cars. But that's as normal. So I don't think anything special for tomorrow. No.
Carlos, anything to add?
No, nothing to add.
Thank you. Next one.
Fred Ferrari, keep question to George. You said that you worked yesterday very late. Was it to put the tire on the right temperature today or to have a good car for tomorrow's race?
They were more probably chats of overall philosophy and if we're going in the right direction as a team. We've been closing the gap, but obviously yesterday was a disastrous day. We believe that there were many reasons as to why, and they all added up to making us well over a second off the pace. But that felt like we were being a bit generous. But then to have a day like today, maybe P1 on pure pace. Obviously Max had a bit of an issue. Who knows? But we definitely turned it around, and we're probably back to where we kind of hope to be.
Thanks, George. Another one.
Yeah, Adrián Rodríguez Huber, Agencia F. Question for Carlos. Carlos, if you improve today's result, tomorrow you'll have your second victory in Formula One. What shall happen tomorrow for this to be true?
I guess get a good start first of all, and then nail the tire management. I think it's going to be quite tricky. There was quite a lot of deck yesterday on all tires, so I think the race is going to be a long race, 70 laps. Yeah, I think it's still a lot to play for. As I said, the race pace of the Merc is going to be an unknown, and we don't know if they're going to be as quick as today or not. And I think we have to stay open-minded, do the best we can. But yeah, I felt very comfortable with the car all weekend, so we should be quick tomorrow.
Thank you, Carlos. Any more?
Thanks. Phil Duncan, PA. Well done, George. You said after you finished your lap that today basically counts for nothing. It's all about tomorrow. So have you allowed yourself to imagine what it would be like to win? Obviously, getting pole's great, but winning's another feat altogether.
No, you don't even think about it. It's you take each day at a time. You don't want to get carried away with yourself, and you just focus, step by step, getting off the line, good start, good first stint. Is it going to be a 1, 2, or 3 stop? When Charles said it's going to be between a 1 and a 3, I don't think he was probably joking there. based on Friday, it could be a 3, but based on the conditions of tomorrow, it might be a 1. So we know we have, relatively speaking, a faster race car than we do qualifying car. If that's going to be the case again this weekend, I'll be very shocked. I think we just absolutely nailed today 100% and got every last millisecond out of it.
Thank you. Next.
Panos Seitanidis from Car Magazine Greece and Gazette. A question for George. Congratulations on the pole position. Given the fact that this is a track where you can defend, how confident you are that you're going to add your name on the list of the first-time winners in this track?
Yeah, hopefully we're not planning to defend and we're just driving off into the sunset. But I know the guys around me and even Max, they're not going to make it easy. As I said, generally speaking, we feel like we have a faster race car. This is a good place where you need a good qualifying, no doubt, but it's still a circuit that if you have a faster race car, it counts for more than if you have a faster qualifying car. So, if it's a 2 or a 3-stop race, you won't be able to defend, let's say, because the other cars can go early, they can go late, and they'll find a way past.
Thanks. Another one.
Annette Johannes from Orgo. Question to George. Almost all the time you seem very confident. Where is it coming from? And have you ever doubted that you will achieve this, what you have achieved today?
I mean, personally, I've never doubted it. I think it's clear we've had a difficult season as a team. Qualifying, historically, for me, has been one of my strengths. This year, I've struggled a little bit, but Budapest is a circuit I've always loved. I've always been fast here. And I always knew if the car and myself were working perfectly together, there's no reason why we can't achieve great things. So, tonight, good night's sleep, focus, everything for tomorrow. But this is, a huge day for us, regardless.
Thanks, George. Another one.
Eva Vándor, HVG, to the Ferrari drivers. Max is starting from P10 tomorrow. Does that look like a safe distance from your point of view?
No, safe, I don't know if it's safe. I don't know what do you mean with safe, but I think tomorrow our target is to win the race, not focus too much where Max is, because we know that if we want to cut points on the championship, the easiest way to do that is by winning. So, independent of where Max is we want to go for that win.
Yeah, nothing to add. I think we'll try and go for the win, and Max is starting 10, so it might take him a bit more laps to come back to the front, but we'll just focus on ourselves and try to win the race.
Thanks both. Any more?
Zsolt Godina, F1Világ.ag, a question to the Ferrari drivers. You were quite good on tire management in Austria and in France as well. Tomorrow will be much cooler than it was in yesterday. How confident are you regarding this?
I mean, things I think will change quite a bit compared to what we've seen yesterday. So we just need to be able to adapt as quickly as possible. On my side, I struggled with tires today, but tomorrow the race is going to be a complete different thing. So quite a bit of work tonight to understand in which direction it's going to go for tomorrow and to be as ready as possible.
Yeah, we need to see how, with these conditions, this wind, how the car behaves in stabilized conditions. Today is a soft tire. You're starting with it quite cold out of the box and the car is behaving one way or the other, but tomorrow when the tires are up to temperature in a sustainable condition, the car could change completely, and there is where hopefully we can find a bit more pace than today, and we can have a strong run in the first stint and go from there. I think the car has been quick all weekend, so there's no reason why not to believe that tomorrow we should be strong.
Thank you. And another one.
Kevin Scheuren, Motorsport Total. Question to George. You're faring very well against Lewis Hamilton this season. Now your first pole position. For you personally, how much would it mean for you personally if you would have the first win of the season from Mercedes, and as far as going the confirmation of the path you've taken over the last few years to come there?
that stat, being the first one to get the first victory for the team, is meaningless. I think we're both here wanting to fight for world championships, and to do that you need excuse me, you need pole positions, you need race victories, you need to work together. Today was a great day, but something like that I'm not focused about. I just want to do the best job possible. As simple as that.
Thank you. Another one.
Altono from Race Fans. George, you mentioned that you turned the car upside down last night. What things did you and the team focus on in terms of changes overnight?
Well, I mean, we made a big step forward, so I'm not going to tell you about that. In Formula One, it's fine margins, and there's so many fine margins in so many different aspects. And when you get everything into that perfect window, the car can just fly. Equally, if one thing's just out, it can compromise everything. So there's no guarantees with changes we made overnight will translate into performance tomorrow. There's no guarantees it will translate into performance into future races. But for sure, for today, for the conditions, it did. So let's review again tomorrow.
Thanks, George. Next one.
Andrew Benson, BBC Sport. George, you're being so measured and calm and controlled about it. Can you give us a sense of the emotions that must be going through you, how you feel about this?
I mean, it's to be honest, I'm already thinking about tomorrow. I'm thinking about the run off the line, turn one, how I can try and keep the lead, and what I'm going to have to do to win the race. Getting a pole position is great. Having a good Saturday is great. But as I learned quite a lot last year, and as I've also learned a lot this year, Saturday doesn't mean a huge amount. Sundays is when the points and prizes are won. But I'm just so happy for what it means to us as a team, the progress we've made. And obviously going into the summer break, having a Saturday like this and a qualifying like this was huge. So we'll do our best to have a great day.